Hello, and welcome to my podcast. For those of you who don't know me, this is Simulation, a Jay Haas podcast. Alright. I truly believe that we're in a simulation. I truly believe in the multiverse. I'm going to tell you how I believe in it, what I believe in exactly, and my theory on how it all started. But first, I'm going to tell you my awakening experience the other day. Now, I've believed that we've been in a simulation, and I've believed the multiverse for like 6-7 years now. It was the day before yesterday was my awakening. So I'm outside on my porch smoking a cigarette, and I see this cardinal fly up on this branch that about eye level, that's about 20 yards away. So this cardinal lands on this branch. He looks at me, I look at him. He only stays about for like a couple seconds, then he flies off. About 4 seconds into takeoff, into flight, he stops. He freezes mid-air. No wings flapping, no nothing, just like someone hit pause on a video. He stayed like that for a good 2 seconds, maybe. Stopped without moving, and then started flying again. And that was my awakening. I swear on everything I have in this simulation that is true. Now, which leads me to how I think it all started. So my theory on that is billions and billions and billions of years ago, there was one single galaxy and one single planet within that galaxy. We're going to call that Earth 1. Now, on Earth 1, there was all these, I guess, I'm just guessing here, this is just a theory, but cosmic beings. They could have been human, I don't know. But I'm going to go with cosmic beings. Higher ups that have power, I have power. Anyways, eventually they get so far along in their technology, like where we're at now, even ahead of us. TVs, phones, VR, all that, work, school, So they create a third world game, a simulation game, like some that we have now, but it was way more advanced. You could go to school, you could go to work, you could eat, drink, sleep, go out to the bar with your friends, all that. Everything that you can do in this simulation, you can do in that one. So it wasn't too long before that simulation game that Earth 1 had created gained consciousness. They gained consciousness. They awakened. They didn't know they were in a simulation game, but they started doing everything else on their own. Like, they went to school on their own. They went to work on their own. They assembled what's essentially, I guess, free will. So, a little bit of time passes, not that much. Then they create a simulation game of their own. So it's a simulation game inside of a simulation game. So Earth 2 created Earth 3. It was just as advanced as Earth 2. So I'm sure you can guess what happens next. That simulation game awakens, gains free will, does all the stuff in life, and then they create a simulation game of their own. And it goes on forever, so on and so on and so on, until we get to now, until we get to here and now. There is a void. There is an empty non-space that doesn't consist of space, matter, or time, that is filled with infinite numbers of simulations, because it has been happening for billions and billions of years. It's filled with an infinite number of simulations, infinite Earth simulations. That's the multiverse. I mean, you can't say it doesn't make sense, right? It makes the most sense, if anything. You have all these Earths, and that's nowhere and everywhere at the same time. That's the definition of multiverse, bro. Anyways, you get to here and now. People ask me, I get this question more than anything: how do I know which exact simulation we're in? Which exact version of Earth are we in? And I mean, I always answer truthfully. The truth is, I don't know. I have no idea. But that's part of the mystery. But whenever they ask me that question, I always answer with this, to make them realize how hard the question is that they're asking. Think of this. Imagine two cosmic beings that consist of nothing except space and time. No matter, no nothing. Just space and time. Let's call them number 1 and number 2. Alright. So number 2 asks number 1, yo, you want to play some beer pong? So number 1's like, alright, yeah, let's do it. Number 1 gives number 2 a ping pong ball. One single ping pong ball. That ping pong ball represents a soul. So then number 1 lays out each and every single red Solo cup on the ground. He lays out infinite red Solo cups. They're covering everything, literally everything. And the red Solo cup represents the simulation. And then number 1 goes back and fills each single one with water. Just a little bit, about halfway, with water. And that water represents the avatar. The avatar that's talking to you right now through this message. The avatar that's listening to this message. Yes, your soul might be listening. You might be hearing this, but your avatar's picking it up. Number 2 takes the soul up the watchtower. That's, I don't know, it's pretty fucking high. Let's say about 500,000 feet tall. He takes the ping pong ball, he takes the soul up the watchtower, and he telepathically tells number 1 that he's ready. So number 1 holds out his hands. He just cups his hands right in front of him. Number 2 throws the soul off the watchtower. Now see, there's two punishments and 1 gift. Number 1, the punishment. So this is the first thing that could happen. The ping pong ball, the soul, he throws off the watchtower. It goes down and it lands in number 1's hand. That means you have found yourself on the Earth that wasn't created but has created. The first one, the creator of all. Yes, it's good that you weren't created, but it's the punishment because you have all this responsibility, all these lives you have to look over. You have to look out for all these individual souls. No one wants that type of responsibility. It causes anxiety, depression, all that. So we'll rewind a bit. Number 2, the punishment. Another punishment. So number 2 throws the soul off the watchtower, and it lands in one of the infinite solo cups. Just a random one. It doesn't matter. That's a punishment. Because you were created and you have created. You're stuck. You're not going anywhere. And you most likely won't until your avatar has died, and until your soul becomes the ping pong ball again to get another chance at which simulation you go to. That leads us to number 3. The gift. See, the gift, I believe, is the most important one, because number 2 throws the soul off the watchtower for the 3rd time. This time, it lands in the very last one that was made so far. The last one that was created, which I believe we have landed there. We have landed on this plane of existence, this simulation, because, alright, just listen to this. The gift. You were created. Yes, that sucks, but it's optimistic. It's mysterious, which kind of excites. But we have not created, which leads us to holding our own future, to proving that nothing is written in stone, to proving that the cycle can be broken. I cannot be the only person that remembers the Sims game. I know they're still coming out with new ones, but the Sims creator, the people that created the Sims game, you know, the third world game, a couple years ago, they said that in 5 to 7 years, the Sims avatars will become conscious. They will become awakened. I cannot be the only one that remembers that. They said it a couple years ago. That means we got about 5 to 4 more years left to prove nothing's written in stone, to prove we hold the future in our own hands. I'm so happy you stayed to the end of this message.